Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T, and if true crime is your jam and like me, you enjoy delving into unsolved cases, trying to figure out who done it, please consider subscribing. Also, if you enjoy my videos, please hit that like button. It's impossible today not to talk about the Wells neighbor, Jodi Sue Brown's allegations against her ex-partner, Andy Bernard, and against Candace Bly, possibly Don Wells, and some of the Wells children. Now, let me say this right out of the gate. We don't know if Brown's allegations are true. This is all hearsay, and slanderous hearsay at that. There are two possibilities. One, Jodi Sue Brown is making these highly upsetting stories up in an effort to hit back at Andy Bernard, who was on Crowdsourced Illumination's YouTube channel last night. Or two, Jodi Sue Brown is finally speaking the truth, and she let it out in a moment of unleashed rage at Bernard. Here's the gist of what Jodi Sue alleged last night. She said that Andy Bernard was selling drugs to Candace and to the Wells children, and that the drugs were being used to sedate the kids. Brown explained that the little kids were being sedated so that they could be touched, as in S8. Note that Brown also mentioned little girls, plural, as in multiple little girls being sedated and touched. So now everyone is wondering who, in addition to Summer, may have been treated to this horrendous criminal behavior. And is this why Summer vanished? Was she perhaps over-medicated, and did she perish as a result? Also, why did it take Jodi Sue more than a year to mention this information? Note that Jodi Sue is now refusing to answer even her number one YouTube supporter, Tiffany Marie's questions. She seems to want everyone to just let this go and stop asking her questions. But she's the one who let the genie out of the bottle, and it can't go back inside. Not this. Jodi Sue, you cannot make the statements you made publicly and then not explain them. We would be remiss not to mention your comments and not to pose the obvious questions about them. This doesn't make us bad people. We've been fighting to keep Summer's name out there for more than a year. We've been praying for her safe return. We're invested in Summer, even if you think every YouTuber is just out there for clicks and views. Don't ask us to hear what you said and then expect us to forget what we heard. That ain't gonna happen. Yes, we know you have a monster who abused you, but now you're talking about a 5-year-old allegedly being sedated thanks to drugs your ex-partner sold her mother, allegedly. And you're saying that you and Bernard were aware that Summer was getting SA'd. That makes you and Bernard monsters. You also said that Don Wells took his and Candace's eldest son to Utah because of this. Only you didn't explain what you meant by that, leaving us all to speculate. And again, you waited a full year to mention all this. Does this explain why Summer looks so out of it in the milk jug photo and video? It would make sense. Is this how Candace was able to party with H on June 15th? Did she allow Summer to splash around for a bit and then sedate her and leave her in the hot truck? It's all making my head spin. We'd heard that Summer used to run around the house and sip people's beers, and that the Wells found this amusing. That would take that behavior up a notch. It makes me think of little Kaylee Anthony. I've always felt that her mother perhaps sedated her, and that's what led to Kaylee's death. I've also believed of late that because drugs and alcohol play such a big role in Don Wells and Candace Bly's lives, They both have allegedly suffered from addiction, and it's clear they both have issues with alcohol, that drugs and alcohol likely played a role in Summer's disappearance. This theory, too, fits with Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is usually the right one. I don't think it's too preposterous to think that drugs could have been administered to Summer not to kill her, but rather to sedate and control her, and perhaps too much was given. That, combined with the hot car, could have led to a bad outcome. If this is the answer, then let someone finally confess, and let Summer be brought back from wherever she is and given a proper resting place. And let those responsible for this reckless behavior be held accountable. But again, these are allegations. We don't know if any of this is true. Let's pray that law enforcement gets to the bottom of this, and if it is true, let the guilty parties suffer the consequences. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories. Now do me a favor, please hit that like button.